Welcome to Student Spotlight, a presentation of College Success Arizona. This program features the hardworking college students who have earned scholarships from College Success Arizona and are pursuing their educational goals and career passions. Today on Student Spotlight, we interview Adeli Valledares.
I was born in Glendale, but I was raised in this little small town in El Mirage. And then I basically grew up with my mom and my grandparents until we moved here to Phoenix.
And when did you move to Phoenix?
I was the summer before my 5th grade year, and when we moved over here to Phoenix for education reasons and to basically get a more stable life for me and my brothers.
And where did you graduate from high school?
I graduated from North High School.
And how old are you now?
I'm 19 years old right now.
And you're enrolled at Arizona State University?
Yes.
What is your course of study?
I'm a biology major, and I'm actually hoping next semester to double major with philosophy.
So you're hoping to graduate, or you're planning to graduate with a bachelor's degree in biology?
Mm-hmm.
What is your long-term career goal?
My long-term career goal is to get into medical school and hopefully become a doctor, hopefully pediatrician, actually.
To become a pediatrician, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
And what is motivating this career decision or choice or passion, drive?
It's actually my brothers, because they're basically mentally disabled, and seeing them struggle and seeing how they are really just made me appreciate kids a lot more, and it made me want to help as many kids as possible, and I think medicine is the best way to do that.
The desire to be a doctor, is that something that you sort of realized in high school in more recent times, or have you kind of known it for a long time?
I think when I was young, I always knew I wanted to do something to help people, but I think as I started growing up, especially in high school, I started volunteering at a hospital, and that's where I really was like, I became set in stone that this is what I want to do. This is the kind of environment I can see myself being in when I'm older.
So you would graduate with a bachelor's degree in biology and then go on, hopefully get into ASU med school?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be, what, another 4 years maybe?
Yes, and then after that, just keep going until I get my doctorate, and then stabilize myself into like the hospital environment. So
if you went without break, you could be a doctor probably pretty easily by the time you're 28, 29, huh?
Yes, but again, medical school is very competitive, and I'm just going to give it my all. And I think I know realistically I may not get in my first try, but I'm just going to keep going until I do. It's what I want, so I'm just going to keep fighting for it.
And from North High School to Arizona State University, that's a big transition. You're going from a high school with a few thousand young people to a university with like 60 or 80,000 people. There's a lot. Can you talk about that transition, what it's been like, the challenges?
The transition was pretty major, because I think in high school I was pretty used to seeing the same people over and over again. In college, it really is all up to you. Put yourself out there and to try to make the best of it, and be able to understand that you have to be dependent, and that the first semester especially, you're going to have to deal with being more lonely and learning to meet new people who are really different from you and different from the high school environment, because they're a lot more mature.
And this is obviously pretty early in your college education, but can you say what has been the best part, or has there been a best part so far?
I really think the best part is the flexibility of it. In high school, it's so set in stone. Like the teachers, the counselors, they give you your schedule. They tell you what you need to do, and you have a pretty strict 7 classes. But in college, you're able to basically, get more independent and see what you want to do. And the classes are more enjoyable because they're not like you get to sit there with the professor and take notes, but then you have the fact that, if you really want to learn more, you have to do self-study and put in the effort.
And earning the scholarship from College Success Arizona, which provides up to $6,000 per year for educational expenses, it too is very competitive. A lot of young people compete for these scholarships, but unfortunately, there's only so many that can be awarded. Can you talk about what you went through to earn the scholarship, and then the feeling you had when you finally got word that you got it?
I mean, to get this scholarship is amazing. I mean, without it, I probably would have struggled more financially. What I had to go through was pretty intense. I had to have several of my teachers, my counselors, look over my essays. I had to gain experience to build and to show that I was serious about college. I not only did I do extracurriculars, I volunteered at a hospital, I volunteered at the food bank. I really put myself out there to show that I wanted this, and being a first generation, I had to really fight for this and show that I'm not only am I going to succeed, but I'm going to continue. I'm not going to quit halfway, and I'm going to really use the money wisely and not disappoint the college success people. And I think it was really exciting when I found out that I got the money, because it was like a weight off my shoulders to be able to know that financially I was a little more stable to be able just to focus on my studies and reaching my career goals.
And your mother and grandparents, it sounds like they've had a pretty strong role in your life. They must be enormously proud of you at this point.
They told me that they are, and I think they're the biggest support system I've had, especially my mom. You know, they pushed me, and they never forced me to do anything. They just supported me and told me to just try my best, and always, but never to make excuses, and to always fight for what I wanted.
And back to the scholarship, beyond the financial aspect of it, it also provides a success advisor, basically an academic advisor who helps provide some guidance through your college experience. Your success advisor is Robert Davis. Can you kind of talk about the role that Robert plays in your life?
I think what Robert does is, whenever I really need someone to talk to who's not a parent or not someone at the college, he's really there, and he's very friendly, and he's easy to talk to, so it makes it easier for me to be more open about the struggles, especially the transition. He was very nice and open about hearing what I was going through, and he always made sure that my academics were in where they needed to be, which was really nice to have someone always checking up on me.
And for students at North High School and maybe other high schools or middle schools who might be listening to this interview, can you offer some advice for those who are considering their own possibility or their own possible path to college?
I mean, I think the biggest thing advice I can give to them is you have to want it. It's always going to be a motive. It's always going to come from you. If you don't want it, it's not going to happen, because you have to fight for what you want, and then you have to be able to put yourself out there, because there are people out there who do want to help you and succeed, and there are scholarships and mentors and people who are going to support you if you are willing to work for it and willing to ask for the help.
And looking ahead to med school, you have some years ahead of you to complete your undergraduate degree. Are there things that you can do now that might help your case when you apply and try to get into med school?
Yes, I think the thing that I'm just doing right now, day by day, is keeping my GPA up and really trying to get into internships to get more experience in the hospital environment and to show my commitment to this career, because without hard work and without showing that medicine is something I want to do, then I won't have a real possibility of getting in. So hopefully in the future, working in a hospital is something I really want to do.
You know, I've interviewed a couple other young people like yourself who also want to be doctors, and I keep thinking I need to ask this question, but I forget. But now I'm remembering. It's about blood. You're obviously okay being around blood and sick people and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I used to volunteer at a hospital in high school, and I actually went into the ER section a couple of times. It was a bit nerve-wracking to be near because in the ER it's a very sick people, but it was I was actually very comfortable because I got to see how amazing the doctors were with helping people, and there was a lot of blood and a lot of chaos, but it was a great learning experience to see what kind of field I'll be in the future.
Dr. Valladares, that sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you, Adeli, for the interview and for working so hard to make a difference in our community.